Good day. This is the 11th video tutorial on Designer program. Today we will analyze the basics of backtesting and strategy optimization. Strategy backtesting is carried out in order to identify the strategy efficiency based on market data. Based on the data obtained, optimization or editing of the strategy is subsequently carried out. For the backtest, we will use the strategy from Lesson 7 based on the MACD indicator. The conditions for trades execution are as follows. If the indicator value sign changes from minus to plus, then we buy. If on the contrary, then we sell. Let's consider the menu to emulate the strategy operation. At the top, the period for which backtesting is required is configured. The path to the market data is set, on the basis of which the backtest will be carried out. The market data format is selected. The instrument for the backtest is set. To start testing, click Start. After that, the Pause button will become active, by clicking on which we pause the strategy, and the Stop button, which completely stops the strategy. When editing a strategy, you can use the buttons for undoing the last action, and the button to return the undone action. The Refresh button completely refreshes the schema. There is also an Optimization button here, the work with which we will now consider. Let's start the strategy. As you can see from the chart, the strategy makes trades. In order to determine the best parameters for the operation of the strategy and maximize profits, we will need to run a huge number of backtest launches. To simplify the work in the program, a strategy optimization is implemented. It serves to find the best parameters for the strategy operation based on the tests. Working space divided into three parts. The upper part is the backtest parameters, which displays the selected parameterized elements. Below is a menu for setting parameterizable elements for their optimization in the strategy, and the window where the optimization progress is displayed. Also, the data of tests carried out will be displayed, indicating parameters and results. Let's take a closer look at the optimization parameters. Strategy elements are divided into system and parameterizable. System elements include elements that do not change in the process. They form the strategy basis. They are responsible for its performance. Such elements can be, for example, constants. Parameterizable elements are responsible for the strategy behavior, for the trade direction, and the execution of trades. Opening the optimization window, you can see that several values are specified in the parameterized elements, such as the constant 0, which is responsible for checking the indicator value sign. 1, which is responsible for the volume of trades made. These constants do not change, and therefore they can be disabled from parameterization by unchecking. However, in complex strategies, such elements can be found in a large number. To avoid confusion and for convenience, constants can be disabled as follows. Let's enter the window with our strategy and enter the variable cube setting with a value of 0. Uncheck parameters and back to the optimization window. In order to see the changes, you need to close and reopen the optimization window. After that, the elements with the value of 0 will disappear from the list of parameterizable. The main parameter of our strategy that needs to be parameterized is the indicator value. It does not appear in the optimization window, so we need to include it in the parameterizable elements. To do this, in the settings of the MACD indicator cube, put a tick on the parameters item. We will also close and reopen the optimization window so that this element appears. Now we have two values in the parameterized elements that make up the MACD indicator, long and short. Most of the indicators are based on the SMA indicator, and as a basis for calculating the value, it applies the calculation of the average over a set period. Each of these parameters has its own period. The basis for optimization in our case will be the search for the optimal value of the indicator period for maximum profit. When optimizing, it is important to remember that excessive parameterization of strategy elements may lead to tweaking of results, leading to incorrect performance in real trading. We need to find the optimal period value. Let's uncheck the parameters that we will not change. For simplicity and time reduction, we will set the parameterization only on the readings of the long value. The window indicates that the optimization will take place, starting from the period of the long value equal to 1 to the period equal to 10, with a step of 1. Let's change this parameter. Set period values from 20 to 30. We see that the values of indicator periods have changed. So, optimization will test this strategy, starting from a period of 20 of the MACD indicator long value, up to a period of 30 of the MACD indicator long value, while each test will consist of 100 iterations. Set the instrument. Run optimization. We see how the profit and loss curve changes depending on the specified indicator parameter. Scrolling through the table, you can see the main parameters of changing strategy indicators, such as profit, loss, number of orders and trades. The optimization process takes a long period of time, but it is many times faster than the manual testing process. Correct parameterization and correctly selected element for parameterization allow you to get the maximum profit and reduce losses by selecting the required parameter value. After the optimization is completed, it is necessary to compare the results and select the most profitable parameter value. To do this, click on a row in the optimization table and go to the results of the selected test. After that, the test chart will be loaded in the window, which will indicate all the strategy trades. You can also see the table of trades that have passed for the strategy. By going to the profit and loss chart page, you can see the chart, based on which you can see how our strategy trades with the selected parameter. Let's go to the statistics page. It is the most important. It displays such parameters as maximum profit, maximum drawdown, relative drawdown, and decrease in equity relative to the maximum value. Relative income is measured in two quantities: monetary units and time. Recovery factor, showing how much profit exceeds the maximum drawdown depth. Number of profitable and unprofitable trades, total number of trades, and other parameters, in relation to which the results are compared and the optimal conditions for the strategy operation are identified. Let's look at the portfolio testing mode. For this, let's go back. Portfolio testing makes it possible to test one strategy on different instruments at the same time. Thus, identify the most appropriate instrument for your strategy. To do this, put a check mark on the instrument parameter, and at the bottom of the window, click on the Instrument Selection button. Remember, for portfolio testing, you must have downloaded market data for both instruments. Portfolio testing will allow you to compare the result of a strategy with a changing parameter and with two different instruments. Click on Start. Optimization works similarly to the previous case. Just after optimizing the first instrument, optimization of the second one begins, and so on, depending on how many instruments is specified. After the end of the optimization process, similar to the previous case, various test options are reviewed and compared. Based on this, the most optimal parameters for the strategy are selected, and the results of the best options for two instruments are compared. Optimization allows the user to reduce the time to identify the optimal strategy performance. By parameterizing the elements on which the strategy depends, the user gets the opportunity to automatically test, based on the results of which it identifies the most favorable conditions, including the most suitable instrument. That's all. Thanks. Goodbye.